Inside Sports Talk with your host, Johanna-Rosalye. I am joined here today by my wonderful co-host, Ed Hall, alongside our very special guest, multi-sport veteran athlete and motivational speaker, one of my favorite guys, Ed Smith. How are you guys?
You're going to make me blush, Joanna.
Am I?
Great to be on with you guys.
Well, Brother Ed, the accolades she just said to you is all true. It's all live, and there's no sugarcoating that. That's what you are. So we introduce you as such.
I appreciate it. Love you guys.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Yes, thank you for coming on. And how can I not? It's Super Bowl right around the corner. It's that Super Bowl week. You can feel it. You can pretty almost, I would say, smell it if you could. You just have all that energy. It's a little bit different this year with COVID. I know last year it was one of the last events that we had prior to shutting down and the pandemic and everything, how it all went down. So this year we're actually going to get the full effect of it per se. So there are going to be some fans in the stands. We're still going to have the halftime show, but it's going to have a little bit different dynamic to it. But we have the best of the best going against each other. Ed Smith, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady. Two different spectrums. They're just so amazing in who they are as athletes and as people. Just you couldn't have imagined it any better, even if you probably would have tried. This cannot be any more of a phenomenal postseason, or I should say playoffs. Thinking baseball here. You can tell I have the withdrawals. But just amazing with both of these guys going head to head.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, if you'd asked anybody, the Chiefs were kind of one of those teams everybody slotted in the AFC. Just, obviously he's defending Super Bowl champion. You got all those weapons. Patrick Mahomes gets another year to get better. Andy Reid, they've showed it. They didn't win spectacularly through the year, but they won. And that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how much you win by. It can be a half a point. As long as you win, you win. I think the surprise for me was the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers started the season off. Obviously the greatest of all time, in my opinion, quarterback-wise, Tom Brady. It wasn't what I would call flawless. They had a lot of issues they were trying to deal with, things they had to move through. One of the things was Tom getting used to being in a different environment where it's not all zipped up and everybody is, ship shape and, maybe a little loose on BA's part. And they kind of worked through some of those things. In the middle of the season, everybody was throwing shade at them. Well, look at them. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. And here we go. They go up to Green Bay, pull off a victory, and if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm thinking, what do we got to do at this point, But once again, Tom goes up there, pulls out the victory, and here he is. And I was joking with Javon on Saturday on our show, Easy Sports Talk. I said, every time Tom goes to a Super Bowl, you either get a Super Bowl ring or you get AFC / now, NFC / championship ring. That man, I'm holding him up right here. He's got 10, count them. He has actually, at this point, has run out of appendages to put rings on. 10 times to the Super Bowl. I went once, and I can tell you, unbelievable, one of the most unbelievable experiences in my life. For him now at 10, it's like old hat for him. But once again, like you said, Joanne, I think the two best teams did make it. And, and it doesn't matter how you start the season, how you finish the season. Tampa Bay got hot toward the end, did everything they needed to do, went up there. And like I said, they proved it to me by going up to Green Bay, winning that game. I think it's the best matchup we could have imagined. You got the old guard against the young pup coming to attack him. And, the fact that Mahomes is already defending Super Bowl champion. It's not like he's going for his first. He's going for his second. So this is the thing. This is what, story writers live for, to put these two together with these type of all the, well, the only thing I'm sad about is that we're getting cut short on what this would really be if it was a normal year. the media day, the maybe getting those two together for some interviews and stuff like that is really, because I think it's taking a little bit away from, but this Sunday is going to be in my opinion, a spectacular game. And I'm really looking forward to it.
I want to ask you real quick, Ed, we talked about it last show, and you mentioned it with bringing up the Packers. So I want to get your take, and on that call and we know Aaron Rodgers came out and spoke and how he felt about it pretty much, and which ultimately ended up costing the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers possibly the game. What do you make and what do you think of that call for not going for it on fourth down?
Well, we have all been in quarantine. So as soon as we come out of quarantine, one of these days, we should all get together and go to a casino. I want you guys to come hang out with me. I'm not a big gambler, but maybe we all go to Vegas and do something, right? If you watch me gamble on me, hey, if I got the loot, we can go do it.
You hear that, Joe?
One of my favorite sayings, and if you sit next to me at a blackjack table and they throw me something to split, or I get 11 down and they got 9 showing, or even a 10 showing. My favorite saying is, scared money don't make money. And if you're scared, if you need to go get a dog. And in my opinion, that situation with that 4th and 9 at their 4th and goal from the 9, man, you have those opportunities once in a lifetime. Mm-hmm. And if you don't take it, you got nobody but yourself. Here's what happens. 9 times out of 10, you don't double down. You don't split those 8s. And all of a sudden the dealer pulls over a 6 or something. And you would have had just one of those hands where you had that big loot out there, right? So if you split it, now you double down on it again, it splits again. So you got 4 hands out there. You would have won every one of them if you would have took that chance. They will never know what could have been because LaFleur never took that chance. And that's why I always say, scared money don't make money. If you're going to go, the theory is, for me, it's like, okay, if you don't get it, you got them backed up, you get another crack at it, you forced them, you got 3 timeouts there. You kick the field goal, you give them back the ball, they get a first down, game's over. So, like I said, in the situation, in the moment, we all, it is very tense. Nobody knows exactly what they would do, and we all can be the Monday morning quarterbacks, but doggone it. Like I said, you got to show some stones and, give Aaron Rodgers, who many think is one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best in the game right now, got to give him a chance at least.
Yeah. Don't stick it a little.
Yeah. Of course, as Joanna being a cheesehead, and she had conflicted feelings that day, and it was either Brady or Rodgers, but I knew where her heart lied with the Green Bay Packers. She really wanted Green Bay to be there this week instead of Tom Brady, but see her face, look at her. She's still choked up.
It hurts.
It does.
It does hurt.
It does, especially when something like that, like you said, you now you have to live with the could have, should have, would have, and what ifs, and taking that chance.
But here's probably what I'm thinking that Matt LaFleur was thinking. He's thinking, okay, I've got 3 timeouts, and like Ed said, we'll kick the field goal here. We've got 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. So essentially we have 4 timeouts, right, guys? So he's thinking, as good as his defense played up until that point, to be honest with you, they intercepted Tom Brady 3 consecutive times. Maybe he's thinking, okay, let's get Mason Crosby to kick this 26-yard field goal, potentially get maybe a 3-and-out. On get Tom to do a 3-and-out, or maybe intercept him for a 4th time, and then you've got another chance for Aaron Rodgers to do some magic. But I agree with you, Ed. It's like scared money really don't make no money. You've got number 12 out there, the best quarterback that's played this season, from the numbers and the way he's brought his football team to where they were a week ago, hosting the NFC Championship game, and you don't trot Aaron Rodgers out there, a guy that threw 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions this season, and you don't want Aaron Rodgers, you don't want the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. If I was LaFleur, I would have said, okay, big boy, this is on you. You got us to this point. You are our MVP. You are the league's MVP. Go ahead and do your thing. And if we don't convert, then like Ed said, well, worst case scenario, then the Buccaneers are backed up at their own at their 8-yard line, and they've got to go 92 yards. They've got to get some time. They've got to be able to get first downs and end the game essentially. But if I'm LaFleur, I'm like, all right, it's Aaron Rodgers' turn. He got us here for a reason. He is the magician. He's pulled off crazier wins than this, and I'm putting it in the quarterback's hands, just like I'm putting it in PLR's hands.
Man, I know this famous brother, dude. He's famous as heck. And he once said, scared money don't make money. And LaFleur was scared money. You can't play scared. If you're scared, get a dog.
He said, bruh, you like 2 minutes after I said the same thing. That's my man right there. Paul was actually on the show chiming with me on Saturday, and he actually reminded me of my favorite saying. So we know he right there. I'm telling you, guys, if you in that situation, you said a couple words, and one of them sticks out to me, Ed. You said, if you stop them, then maybe you get. When you said maybe. That's the word, because you've taken it out of your hands. The maybe is, well, maybe we stop them and we get, why even take that chance?
Right.
And talking about chances and what I'm risking and what needs to happen for you to come out as a championship and, hoist that trophy at the end. And we don't know who that winner is going to be yet for Sunday, but what are something that you see from Tampa Bay and Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? What does each team or each quarterback have to do in order to be able to come out on top?
Who's got that one? Who wants that one?
You know what? I just have a quick question. Is this the last we talk about Green Bay? So are they done now? We ain't got to talk about that no more, do we?
We're done for today's show, yes.
Yeah, we're done, Paul.
We're moving on.
I'm tired of them. I mean, they're gone again. They choked again. Okay, I'm sorry.
I love
We're
you
talking
too,
Super Bowl
PLR.
participants. Yes.
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now, I'll go ahead and give my assessment of this game.
Okay.
Tampa Bay has to keep Brady clean. You got to keep him standing up. You got to keep him protected. You got to get a running game to support him a little bit. You don't want him out there just, and the Chiefs don't have what I would call a devastating defense, but they will throw some things at you. I think if you can keep Brady clean, get him where he's comfortable and throwing the ball down the field, they could make this really interesting. For Kansas City, man, I'm telling you, there are so many weapons you have to stop. And then the biggest problem for me, if I'm the Bucs, and I know they're going to have a decent defensive scheme put together. You've given Andy Reid, it's like obviously it's the bye week. He's got 2 weeks to prepare, and you have no idea what he's going to come out there with. And the other thing is, who's going to be the focal point of their offensive attack? If it gets to a point where Tampa Bay is trying to keep up and score with KC, this could be a runaway. Not necessarily because Tampa Bay can't keep up with them, but when the pressure starts mounting, when they start putting points on the board, we all see it. That's when the mistakes start happening, picks, and all it takes is one. You got the honey badger rolling in the back of that defense. Anything can happen. So for me, this is a game of control by Tampa Bay on the ground, play action, keep Tom clean. If you can do that, not make it a shootout, I think they have a chance. If you get Kansas City rolling and they're just running up and down the field, like I said, that's when everybody thinks they got to, you go to that next level, and that could be trouble. But I think it's going to be a great game. I'm going to be interested to see what Bowles does, trying to, combat Mahomes, whether he throws the kitchen sink at him or he sits back a little bit. And this will be one of those, for me, get ready for this first quarter. Everybody thinks it's going to come out and it's going to be like fireworks and everything. I think this is going to be like one of them big heavyweight fights, Paul, where they come out as like jab, jab, jab. Everybody's jabbing to find out what is going on. And then the second through the fourth quarter could be just amazing.
I think it's going to be harder for Tampa because you have – last week they played that team, and you have one real receiver with that team. And as Ed and I was saying earlier, then they got like Velez Scandal.
Valdez Scantling.
And then they got Tukion playing.
Tunyon. Robert Tunyon.
And then they got the other dude playing wide receiver. Don't nobody know his name but his parents.
Alan Lazard. I know his name.